Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel Fanfiction podcast. Today we will start a new story about if AIS Wallenstein had sisters who were interested in Belle. Before we start, please like, share, subscribe and comment in the comment section below. A person's screams could be heard down the halls of the upper floors of what people know as the dungeon. Running was a white-haired boy named Belle Cranel. As for why he was running, a minotaur was chasing him. Belle, crap. Why is there a minotaur on floor 5? The boy was a rookie adventurer that hadn't been in this profession for too long. He ended up venturing deeper than he should have and was unlucky enough to find a monster that shouldn't even be up this high. Eventually, he reached a dead end and cowered beneath the monster as it roared at him. Belle, this is it. I'm sorry, goddess. He felt it was the end for him until he saw the minotaur had been cleaved by something behind it. Flashback. Further down the dungeon, a group of adventurers were rushing back up for something. One was a green-haired high elf that was famous in the city, as were the others with her. Riveria, those minotaurs can't have gone far. You four go down this path and take care of them. She ordered four, a werewolf, a blonde human girl, a green-haired half-elf girl and an Amazon to chase them down through this path. Riveria, be quick, AIS. The blonde nodded and the four ran, following its roars before splitting up a bit to cover more ground. Eventually, 3 of the 4 met up and managed to deal with the minotaur before another person became a victim. End of flashback. Belle was more than relieved by this point. Standing before him were 3 beauties, unlike any he had ever seen before. Had he not been covered in blood, they would have noticed his cheeks were flushed. Amazon, AIS, you all done here? AIS, asterisk nods asterisk MHM. Half-elf, asterisk sigh asterisk thank the gods we made it in time. Asterisk notices Belle asterisk HM. Amazon, even better we made it before he turned into Minotaur Chow. Half-elf, hey, you shouldn't joke like that, Esmeralda. The half-elf looked annoyed at the Amazon who apologized. Esmeralda, I was just joking, sis. Sheesh, Serena, you don't have to be so uptight about this. Serena, this isn't the time to joke around. This poor guy almost died because of us. The Amazon looked at Belle's condition and gave it a little thought before seeing that she was right. The blonde just walked closer to Belle and went to see if his all right. AIS, asterisk holding her hand out asterisk are you okay? Esmeralda, well, he's not half bad looking. Serena, this is not the time for that. Asterisk looks to Belle asterisk please ignore her. I'm sorry for the trouble we caused. Asterisk bowing asterisk. They each said their piece to the boy, but he was still speechless. Once his mind caught up with everything, a loud scream escaped his throat before he dashed past the 3 and ran out of that place. Esmeralda, what? AIS, asterisk concerned asterisk did we scare him? Serena, I hope not. It's bad enough we let those monsters escape. Hopefully he doesn't hold it against us. Esmeralda, definitely. Shame, he was pretty cute too. Serena, that's your biggest concern. Esmeralda, oh, come on. You thought so too, didn't you? She just looked angrily at the Amazon before Esmeralda turned to AIS. Esmeralda, how about you, sis? Did you think he was good looking? AIS, I don't know. The blonde didn't know exactly what her sister was referring to, but she had trouble brushing aside the warmth she felt from gazing into the boy's red eyes before. The Amazon simply shrugged before they heard the werewolf that came with them, laughing as he came with Riveria. After telling her what happened, she told them that they would just have to hope they could run into him and apologize properly. In Aura Rio, hundreds come in at a time with many different hopes and dreams. The most common was to be an adventurer and gain fame and wealth. However, a certain boy wouldn't be exactly the same. His goal was to be a hero and possibly save a beautiful damsel in the dungeon. That was Belle Cranel's goal. However, there would be complications. In the 5th floor of the dungeon, a person's screams could be heard down the halls of the upper floors of what people know as the dungeon. Running was a white-haired boy named Belle Cranel. As for why he was running, a minotaur was chasing him. Belle, crap. Why is there a minotaur on floor 5? The boy was a rookie adventurer that hadn't been in this profession for too long. He ended up venturing deeper than he should have and was unlucky enough to find a monster that shouldn't even be up this high. Eventually, he reached a dead end and cowered beneath the monster as it roared at him. Belle, this is it. I'm sorry, goddess. He felt it was the end for him, until he saw the Minotaur had been cleaved by something behind it. Flashback. Further down the dungeon, a group of adventurers were rushing back up for something. One was a green-haired high elf that was famous in the city, as were the others with her. Riveria, those Minotaurs can't have gone far. You four go down this path and take care of them. She ordered four, a werewolf, a blonde human girl, a green-haired half-elf girl and a red-haired Amazon to chase them down through this path. Riveria, be quick, AIS. The blonde nodded and the four ran, following its roars before splitting up a bit to cover more ground. Eventually, 3 of the 4 met up and managed to deal with the Minotaur before another person became a victim. End of flashback. Bell was more than relieved by this point. Standing before him were 3 beauties, unlike any he had ever seen before. Had he not been covered in blood, they would have noticed his cheeks were flushed. Picture her as a half-elf. This was the best I could find for what I pictured. Ignore most of the royal clothing and her hair is only half as long there. None of the pictures are mine. Amazon, AIS, you all done here? AIS, asterisk nods asterisk MHM. Half-elf, asterisk sigh asterisk thank the gods we made it in time. Asterisk notices Bell asterisk HM. Amazon, even better we made it before he turned into Minotaur Chow. Half-elf, hey, you shouldn't joke like that, Esmeralda. The half-elf looked annoyed at the Amazon who apologized. Esmeralda, I was just joking, sis. Sheesh, Serena, you don't have to be so uptight about this. Serena, this isn't the time to joke around. This poor guy almost died because of us. The Amazon looked at Belle's condition and gave it a little thought before seeing that she was right. The blonde walked closer to Belle and went to check on him. AIS, that's a rather impressive boner you've got there. Belle, thank you. Take 2. AIS, asterisk holding her hand out asterisk are you okay? Esmeralda, well, he's not half bad looking. Serena, this is not the time for that. Asterisk looks to Belle asterisk please ignore her. I'm sorry for the trouble we caused. Asterisk bowing asterisk. They each said their piece to the boy, but he was still speechless. Once his mind caught up with everything, a loud scream escaped his throat before he dashed past the 3 and ran out of that place. Esmeralda, what? AIS, asterisk concerned asterisk did we scare him? Serena, I hope not. It's bad enough we let those monsters escape. Hopefully he doesn't hold it against us. Esmeralda, definitely. Shame, he was pretty cute too. Serena, that's your biggest concern. Esmeralda, oh, come on, you thought so too, didn't you? She just looked angrily at the Amazon before Esmeralda turned to AIS. Esmeralda, how about you, sis? Did you think he was good looking? AIS, I don't know. The blonde didn't know exactly what her sister was referring to, but she had trouble brushing aside the warmth she felt from gazing into the boy's red eyes before. The Amazon simply shrugged before they heard the werewolf that came with them, laughing as he came with Riveria. After telling her what happened, she told them that they would just have to hope they could run into him and apologize properly. With Belle, the albino was currently running through the city streets still soaked in blood. Several people saw and laughed to themselves about his appearance, but whatever they had to say didn't concern him. He had something else on his mind. He was almost at the guild now, and all he needed was a certain someone to help him. Belle, Miss Aina. He called out to the half-elf woman coming out of the guild. She was an employee there as well as his advisor. Aina, Belle HHHH. She was also startled to the point she dropped all the papers she was carrying. After a quick shower and change of clothes, she dragged him to a private corner to talk with him. Aina, why in the world were you on floor 5? Belle, I'm sorry. I just felt fine on the floors before and thought I'd look around before going back. Aina, which led to you finding a Minotaur on floor 5? Asterisk sigh asterisk I'm just glad you're okay. Now, what else did you want to ask me? Belle, asterisk blushing asterisk I wanted you to tell me more about the Wallenstein sisters. Aina, Miss AIS, Esmeralda and Serena Wallenstein. Well, they are adopted siblings and level 5 adventurers of the Loki familia. Miss AIS is skilled with a sword to the point she's called Sword Princess. Miss Serena is a gifted mage even for half-elves. Miss Esmeralda is a talented fighter with few who can match her in combat. Belle, well, I know about that. I meant other things like what they like or Aina, or if they have a special someone. Belle, yeah. Aina, Asterisk thinking asterisk well, as far as I know, all of them are single. This made his face brighten as any of them were fair game. Aina, although, if you ask me, you stand little chance with any of them. Bell, asterisk gloom asterisk o. Aina, remember, you bear goddess Hestia's blessing. She and goddess Loki don't get along very well to say the least, so the odd of any one of them being with you are slim to none. Bell, I see. Asterisk sad asterisk. Aina, now, let's get your stones cashed in. That should make you feel better. The boy nodded and they went over to a counter to make the exchange. After getting his money, Bell went to say goodbye for the day. Bell, I'll see you later, Miss Aina. She saw how depressed the boy got and figured some uplifting words would help his mood. Aina, Bell, you know, women like strong, dependable men. If you work hard, you could make a good impression on one of them. This definitely helped his mood as his face brightened. Bell, right, thank you. Bye, Miss Aina. I love you. Aina, what? The others nearby giggled at the exchange while Aina sighed to herself. With Bell, he was on his way home, which wasn't too far. Once he reached the abandoned church, he entered and went down the stairs to where he and Hestia were living. Bell, I'm home. Hestia, Bell. The tiny goddess rushed and hugged him once he got home. Hestia, welcome home. Bell, good to be back. Hestia, you're in luck because I got a special treat for you tonight. She showed him to the table and he saw a big pile of potato snacks. His eyes widened as they dug in. Bell, where'd you get all these? Hestia, someone bought too much, so I got to keep them. Flashback. After the fiasco with the Minotaurs, AIS and the others dragged themselves back up to the surface. After a long time in the dungeon and a failed expedition, they were tired and wanted to treat themselves. AIS, I'm gonna go get something to eat. Esmeralda, asterisk stretching asterisk I can't wait to shower all this off. Serena, we just need to wait for the others. Still, I hope we can find that boy and apologize for what happened. The girl was stuck in her mind and didn't notice Reveria approach her. Reveria, Serena. Serena, hey? Oh, Reveria. Reveria, something on your mind? Serena, yeah. Someone nearly got hurt from the Minotaurs and we couldn't apologize in time before he left. Reveria, do you know what he looked like? Serena, he had white hair and red eyes. Almost like a rabbit. Reveria, we can ask the guild about it tomorrow. For now, we should rest and I think Loki reserved tables for us at the hostess tomorrow. Serena, asterisk blissful sigh asterisk thank the gods. Reveria, asterisk giggle asterisk now, where are your sisters? Serena, Esmeralda is relaxing by that wall while we waited for the others. AIS is at the potato snack stand that tiny girl is working at. Reveria, we're finally back and that's the first thing on her mind. The elf princess went to the girl and bonked her on the head before she could leave. With a massive tub of potato snacks. AIS would only be able to get a handful since they were eating dinner later. This gave Hestia lots which weren't going to be eaten by anyone else as the store would be closing soon. End of flashback. After eating, Hestia updated Bell's status. There wasn't too big of a change. He did go up nearly 50 points since his last update, but most would be in agility. However, she did see a new skill in Lyra's freeze. Hestia. A skill that intensifies his growth rate and the effect grows with his feelings. Charm immunity too. Great, how am I going to win his love now thanks to those Wallenstein? Actually, the more important thing is whether I should even tell Bell about this skill. She pondered about it for a while. Though she didn't want to lie to her child, Bell wouldn't be able to lie if a god asked him about it. Hestia, I'll just keep it secret for now. Once he's stronger, I'll break the news to him and hopefully we'll have more members by then. She finalized the update and handed him the paper for him to see. Bell, hey, my agility went up a lot. Hestia, that tends to happen when you run away. On the topic of those Wallenstein girls, you don't have to pay much attention to them. You have me with you right here. Bell, goddess. Hestia, come here you. She smothered the boy while he struggled to get himself free. The following morning, he was on his way to the dungeon, bright and early as always. While he walked there, he passed by a pub and one of the waitresses stopped him for something. Waitress, excuse me, adventurer. Bell, here. Waitress, you dropped this yesterday. She handed him a magic stone. Bell, here. I thought I handed them all in. Thank you, miss. SYR, it's SYR. Actually, I work in this pub here. You should come by later for dinner. The food is to die for. Belle, sure. SYR, great. I'll see you then. Belle waved her goodbye and headed for the dungeon. Once inside, he went about his usual task of killing as many monsters as he could while being careful. Besides getting stronger, he still needed to make money for him and his goddess. Belle, I wonder how long it'll take to reach them. Does he know? As he walked, the walls around him cracked as a new group of monsters was being born. Belle, draws knife back to it I guess. Later that day. It was close to sunset now and Belle was returning back up. In the dungeon, he saw several other adventurers hauling up big boxes from the dungeon. He paid it little mind and made his way to the guild. Once there, he gave his report to Aina and cashed in his stones. This time, he managed almost 5,000 Valis. He told Hestia he would be eating out tonight, so Hestia had a casual night with her other friends, Mayak and Takemikazuchi. With Belle, he was making his way back and looking for that pub he promised SYR he'd visit. Belle, here it is, the hostess of fertility. From inside, the door opened and SYR welcomed him inside. Belle, wow, it's really lively in here. SYR, giggles thanks. We all work hard to make this a place for anyone to drink, eat and enjoy life. Belle, taking a seat by the bar well, I have to say you guys are doing a great job. At that, I'll happily take that compliment, boy. Belle, here. SYR, Mamar MIA. They saw the huge dwarf woman smirking at them. MIA, name's Mamar MIA and I'm the owner of this place. So, you're the guy SYR. Roped in this time. Hope you buy lots of food tonight. Belle just laughed sheepishly before ordering a plate of spaghetti. As he ate, he and SYR talked some more before a cat girl welcomed reservation guests into the pub, which would be the Loki familiar. One by one, famous adventurers filled tables as Loki herself celebrated with them. Loki, all right, my babies, let's enjoy tonight to the fullest. They cheered with her as the waitresses delivered plate after plate for them. Much of them had already begun drinking while others, mainly the women, kept themselves under control before the men passed out. Belle was busy staring at the three sisters which SYR took a notice to. SYR, impressed? They aren't at the top of Aura Rio for nothing. Right next to the Freya familiar. Belle, yeah. They look amazing. While SYR was trying to get some of his attention, Belle was staring at each of the sister. Each girl had their own charm which enchanted him. He would have spent the whole night doing it were it not for one of the Loki familiar speaking up. Beat, drunk K, AIS, tell them about what happened yesterday. AIS, what? Beat, you know, with that tomato kid. To the others get this, some kid got chased by a minotaur and ran away. When he got cornered and AIS and the others saved him, he got covered in its blood and looked like a damn tomato. He laughed along with several others, though a few didn't find it funny. As for Belle, he felt hurt by the words. Beat. The best part is, after he got saved, he didn't even bother to thank them. He just ran away like a scared baby. Ha 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 ha. They laughed more before Serena stepped in. Serena, don't laugh at him, he could have died back there. Reveria, she's correct. None of this is funny since it was our fault to begin with. Beat, oh, shut it. That damn tomato doesn't belong in the dungeon with an attitude like that. Esmeralda, you're drunk, aren't you? Might want to cool it with the booze. Belle gripped his pants as tears stared leaking from his eyes. SYR, Belle, don't listen to him. Beat, tell me AIS, what would you do if he asked you out? AIS, Beat, if that kid showed up and professed his love for you, would you say yes? AIS, I. Esmeralda, hey, leave him out of this already. All of this was just a big accident. You don't have to talk about him like this. Beat, oh yeah. Why the hell do you care? He's just some weakling who doesn't belong with adventurers and sure as hell doesn't belong with any of you. Wallensteins. Clatter SYR, Belle. The boy had heard enough and ran out of the pub. Many watched with shock at mainly the fact someone would dine and dash from this place. Loki. Hotilda, that one has guts for doing that here. Minor flashback. Serena scowled at Beat hearing him verbally insult the poor boy. Serena, it wasn't his fault. Why is he treating him like worthless garbage? He never learns. She sighed and looked to her side as she rested her head on her hand. Her eyes widened when she saw the boy looking down at himself, tears leaking from his eyes. Serena, that's him. She was cut off when Beat spoke louder, uttering words which broke Belle and made him rush out in tears. The girl followed outside to see him running for the dungeon. AIS would follow he as she only caught a small glimpse of the boy. As they looked back inside, they saw Reveria tying Beat up and trying to keep him under control. AIS, was that him? Serena, yeah. They stood in silence before the half-elf spoke up. Serena, I'm going after him. AIS, I'll go too. Serena, no, don't worry about. Stay with the others and tell Reveria. Sorry about this. AIS, Millimeter, stay safe. Serena nodded and dashed off after the boy. With Belle, he was tearing through everything in the dungeon. Belle, crying, damn it. Damn it. He'd gotten to floor 3 before Serena could catch up. When she did, she saw both his fighting spirit and his anger and sadness. She felt worse knowing he had to suffer because of what she and the others did. She would stay and watch a little longer. A few hours later, he was on floor 5 and cutting through many of the monsters in his way. By now, he was tired and beginning to get more and more hurt. After cutting down another monster, he let out a breath before turning back. However, as he did, another monster jumped out at him. He was about to fight it, too, before a blast of magic instantly killed it. He turned to the direction it came from and saw Serena smiling sheepishly at him. Serena, ahaha, hello. Belle, here. What, wait, you're. His eyes widened as he saw her. He realized who she was and a blush crept up his face. Serena was going to talk with him, but Belle quickly ran from the scene. Serena, wait. Before he could get too far, she ran and grabbed him by the wrist, not realizing her touching another person, even being a half-elf. Serena, please don't run away. Belle, let me go. Serena, out of the question. I still need to apologize to you. Belle, stop struggling, apologize. Serena, yes. You see, my familiar has caused you a great deal of trouble. You have. My deepest apologies. Both for the Minotaurs and for what happened at the pub. Belle thought about what she was talking about and grimaced as he remembered. Belle, no, don't. What he said was right. I'm just a weakling who shouldn't be an adventurer. Serena, no. Belle, huh. Serena, don't listen to him. It's okay to be weak. We've all been like that. Even him and me. Belle, you? But you're a level 5 and an amazing adventurer. Serena, giggle, why thank you, but it's the truth. We all have to start out weak before we become strong. That's what my teacher always tells me. Belle, okay. Serena, in any case, let me heal you. You've been through enough tonight. She pulled out some potion vials and gave them to Belle to drink. He did so and the girl sighed in relief. Serena, again, I am so sorry for what happened. Also, sorry for scaring you. Belle, Serena, well, that's why you ran away that time, right? Belle tried to recall that and he did remember about that. Belle, blushing, I am so sorry. Serena, don't worry about it. If there's anything you want, consider it done to pay you back for the trouble. She pleaded to find some way to pay the boy back for all the trouble. Meanwhile, Belle was a blushing mess and trying to control himself with the beautiful girl. Belle, go out with me. Like I could say that. His mind was going crazy from what she said. He could say it right now, but part of him knew it wouldn't be right. Belle, if that's the case then, could you help me? Serena, help you? Like training. Belle, yeah. You're an experienced adventurer. I'd be honored to learn whatever I can from you, and spend more time with you too. Serena, of course. I'd be happy to help a fellow adventurer. Belle, bright, you mean it. Serena, smiling, sure. Does the day tomorrow work? You might want to spend today resting. They were now outside and on the surface and Belle could see the sun was rising. Belle, blushing, why yeah. Serena, oh, I'm Serena, by the way. Serena Wallenstein. Belle, blushing, my name's Belle Cranell. She ran ahead and flashed him a bright and beautiful smile. Serena, I'll see you then, Belle. She made her way home and Belle did the same. Right now, he had plenty of red on his cheeks as well as a bright smile. He grinned at the sky and pumped his fist towards it. Belle, I did it, Grandpa. It isn't exactly what I'm thinking, but it feels the same. He smiled at the sky and cried out with joy that no one could hear yet. Belle, I got a date with a girl. The same morning Belle left the dungeon. Serena was making her way back home. To her surprise, Riveria was waiting by the gates for her. The elf opened her eyes when the half-elf girl came to her with surprise. Serena, Riveria, what are you doing here? Riveria, waiting for you. AIS told me you left for the dungeon last night. Now it's daybreak and you only just arrived. Serena, sorry for worrying you. Riveria, well, you're safe. You can tell me the rest inside. They went in and sat in the dining hall. Serena had breakfast to eat after a hectic night and had to clear things up with Riveria and her sisters before they asked. Once inside, they saw AIS and Esmeralda sitting with a pair of Amazon twins along with an orange-haired elf girl. Esmeralda, hey. Serena, Riveria, come and eat with us. Serena, sweat drop we're right here. You don't have to shout. She turned to the twins and greeted them. Serena, morning. Tyon, Tiona. The older of the two waved to her as she ate. Tyon, morning. So, where'd you run off to last night? Tiona, yeah. We saw you go outside when that guy ran out of the bar. You never came back after. Riveria, sitting down I'd like to know that as well. Serena, sure. She grabbed some food and sat with them. Serena, so, that kid was basically the one AIS and us saved back on the 5th floor. He was just an unlucky victim of the Minotaur swarm, but also a victim of beats. Insults that time. Riveria, I'll have to house train that dog. Esmeralda, so, what next? Serena, well, it took some time, but I eventually caught up with him. He had already reached floor 3, but still looked pretty upset. I just let him kill the monsters there and would only step in if he was in danger. The other elf with them asked something. Lefia, wasn't he supposed to be a newbie adventurer? What was he doing on floor 3? Serena, he may have been, but he handled himself pretty well. After a few hours, he made it all the way to floor 5. Tyon, you're kidding. Tiona, for real. Serena, yeah. AIS, so, what happened next? Serena, well, by that point, he was pretty worn out from all the fighting. A monster was about to attack him and that's when I stepped in. Lefia, I see. As I would have expected. He must have been very grateful. Serena, sweat drop actually, he tried to run away from me. Lefia, furious why that filthy little. Riveria, is that so? Serena, I did manage to catch up and clear things up with him. Riveria, were you able to apologize as well? Serena, smiles yeah. Thankfully I was. Riveria, thank you for doing that. Cleaning up that wolf's messes is a constant pain. Serena, I agree. Esmeralda, did he say anything else? Like what was his name? Serena, his name is Belcranel. He seems pretty nice too. He didn't ask for much in return for all the trouble. Riveria, what did he request? Serena, not much to me. Just that I give him some tips on being an adventurer. Training really. Riveria, training here? When? Serena, 2 days from today. May I go? Riveria, it's a perfect way for us to compensate for our mistake. Yes, you may go. Serena, that is totally unfair. You can't just wait, you said yes? Riveria, did you think I would say no? Serena, well, I mean, you have your opinions on us training. Riveria, my opinion is that you and your sisters train too much. You don't give your bodies enough time to rest. This would be less of a problem if I didn't have to tell you this every time I catch you. That goes especially for you AIS. The blonde looked away as she finished her food. Serena, that reminds me. AIS, you want to join me? AIS, nods I need to apologize too. Esmeralda, now hang on. You can't go without me. Riveria, aren't you going with Tiona to get your equipment inspected at Gorbnews? Esmeralda, oh yeah. Mind if I tag along next time? Serena, that should be for the best. I'll see what else he can do so you'll have an easier time. Esmeralda, smiling sweet. Serena, then that takes care of that. If you don't mind yawns I want to get some sleep. Riveria, we all have our days off. I feel better knowing you'll take this time to relax. The half-elf nodded and went to her room to get some sleep. Meanwhile, Belle came home looking in very rough shape, though his face was telling an entirely different story. Hestia, Belle, what happened? You look terrible. She saw the bright smile on his face and wondered what happened last night. Belle, ahaha, sorry for worrying you, goddess. Hestia, thank goodness you're all right. After you get yourself cleaned up, I'd like to hear what happened. One bath later. Hestia, are you out of your mind? Belle, sorry. Hestia, Belle, you already almost died. Why would you feel the need to go down that far and at night? Belle, I want to get stronger. I realized yesterday that I'll never get what I want if I don't work for it. Hestia brought the boy into a close hug. Hestia, even if that's the case, I can't accept you putting yourself in that much danger. Promise me you'll take better care of yourself from now on. Belle, nods I will. I'm sorry again. Hestia, now, why don't we get you status updated? One earth-shattering update later. Hestia, what the hell? His stats climbed up so much. Belle, these are really my stats. The total doubled from my last update. Hestia, it just seems you've been rewarded for all your hard work. Belle good another big smile on his face as this was a major step towards his new goal. That of being a hero and possibly landing one of the sisters, though, Serena, made the only impression on him so far. Belle, oh, by the way, I'll be leaving early in 2 days. I have to meet with a friend. Hestia, well, all right. Don't have too much fun. She didn't detect a lie, but the boy neglected to inform her of the whole truth. Belle, oh wait, I forgot. Hestia, what's wrong? Belle, nothing, I'll be right back. He took his bag of money back to the hostess and went to apologize to the owner, who was a massive dwarf woman. Belle, this should cover my meal expenses. I'm sorry for not paying. SYR, it's a good thing you came back. Mamau MIA would have hunted you down if you didn't. MIA, she's not lying either. Belle, eep. MIA, look, I'll go easy on YA since those folks were pretty hard on YA. Listen up. Adventurers don't reach the top by trying to look all fancy and cool. You waste your time doing that and you'll end up like most do trying to live like that. Dead. Don't let their words keep you down, kid. Remember, the real winner is always the one who comes back alive. Once you can keep yourself from din, there you can start getting fancy. Now, run along. She lightly pushed him to the door and he left feeling much lighter than when he went in. Belle, phew. Good thing she wasn't too mad. I should probably go again and do things right to make up for it properly. Since he didn't sleep that night, Belle would relax as well and resume his adventuring the next day. Although, Aina, floor 5. I only just cleared you for floor 3 and you nearly died on that same floor not that long ago. Belle, that was just unlucky. Besides, my last update says I should be able to handle that. If not, then floor 4. Aina went with him to a private spot and looked at his stats. She was shocked to see that he was able to go down a little deeper. Aina, well, your stats do agree. However, I only want you to go down to floor 4. Belle, I did almost die on floor 5. I guess I should slow down a little. Aina, good idea. He took her advice and stayed on the 4th floor. Nothing of note happened though. He felt fine compared to last night. The next day was much the same and then the next day was his date he was looking forward to. In the early morning, he left and headed for their meeting place. Belle, wait, did she even say where this would be? The boy started panicking as he only now realized there was no set place to meet up. Belle, wait, I'll just go to the Loki familiar's place. They should know where she is. He raced over there. With Serena. Serena, pale I made a little mistake. AIS, here? Serena, ahaha. I may have forgotten to set a meeting place with him. AIS, oh, that's not good. Serena, arg. I can't believe I forgot something so simple. AIS, looking out the window, wait, is that him? Serena, hey? Wait, AIS. She jumped out and the half-elf quickly followed. Out by the gates, they saw Belle, looking nervous as the guards by the gates questioned his business here. When told he was looking for Serena, the guards, very aggressively, shot him down and claimed he was lying. Thankfully, he didn't have to wait too long before the girls came and saved him from being thrown like a rag doll. Serena, hey, put him down. He's with us. God, you can't be serious. You really had business with him. Serena, yes, now put him down, Orba. The beastman let the boy down before they both returned to their posts with a grunt. Serena, are you okay, Belle? I'm sorry. I ended up causing you more trouble. Belle, asterisk blushing asterisk no. I'm fine. Serena, well, I apologize for not laying out all the important details. Anyway, if you follow us, we'll take you to where we can train properly and with no prying eyes. Belle, we. Serena, yes. My sister will be joining us. AIS, hello, my name is AIS. Belle, asterisk blushing more asterisk it's a PP pleasure to meet you, Miss AIS. AIS, you call my sister Serena, right? Just AIS is fine. Belle, alright. Serena, let's go. They led the boy over to the walls and climbed up. There, they set their things down and were ready to get to work. Serena, now, I can give you the basics of adventuring, but in terms of weaponry, AIS is a lot better than me, so she can help you with that. Belle, I understand. Serena, well, from what I can see already, you'll probably want actual weapons. And armor soon. The stuff the guild provides won't last past floor 6 or 7. Belle, oh okay, but I don't really have that kind of money. Serena, you don't have to worry about it now. I just wanted to put it in your head, to think about in the future. Now, as for fighting, AIS can help. The blonde got up and put her sword to the side. She held its sheath in her hands as Belle drew his knife. AIS, that was more reactive. Belle, here? Serena, you want to be more proactive. Take initiative and stay on guard. The boy nodded and the girl went in to start their spar. Immediately, they all saw. The boy had little talent in combat, at least versus people. Within a few minutes, Belle had fallen on his butt several times. Serena, don't be so stationary. Focus on dodging than blocking. Belle, right. An hour passed and they took a small break. In that time, the albino had absorbed a great deal of the tips Serena and AIS gave him. AIS, sorry about going so hard on you. I'm not really used to this. Serena, he didn't get knocked out, so it's fine. Still, I'm pretty impressed, Belle. We went over a lot of basics and you learned them all really fast. You have a knack for this. Belle, asterisk blushing asterisk and no, I'm not that good. You two are good at teaching. AIS, I'm not the best teacher. I still have trouble holding back properly. Serena, I noticed it too. Belle, you surprised her a few times and almost paid the price for it. Belle, sorry. Serena, oh no, don't be sorry. That's a good thing because you're learning really fast. Belle, you think so? Serena, yeah. AIS, I just had a thought, but maybe you should move away from knives and daggers as your main weapon. Belle, sorry. AIS, it's not that they are a bad thing to have. Weapons like those are convenient to have ready, but they won't serve as good main-hand weapons. Belle, I see your point. I only have these because I couldn't afford anything bigger. AIS, She went over to the crate she brought and came back with a slightly worn-looking sword. AIS, this was something we picked up at a clearance box when we went shopping. Low-ranking smiths sell these often and they make for good weapons to have more practical sword training. Here. Belle, for me. Serena, that's a great idea. They may be just training fodder for us, but for a new adventurer, they'll be much more useful. Belle, if you're fine with it. AIS, asterisk nods asterisk we have plenty and I can train you in swordplay. Belle, alright, thank you. He took the sword and held it in the same stance AIS had taken when they started. For the next several exchanges, he would learn how to wield sword properly along with refining his skills with daggers and knives. After some more time, they would stop that and Serena would take over. Serena, you feeling okay? Belle, why yeah, just a little sore. Serena, asterisk giggle asterisk well, that's normal. It's a shame you have no magic since that's more in my field. Though, I can give you a basic intro in how magic works. Belle, asterisk blushing asterisk oh okay. Her laugh is pretty too. Serena, the first thing is that magic is either acquired or innate. The former refers to magic gained by your fauna. The latter is more race-specific, so a human wouldn't likely develop magic compared to, say, an elf. Belle, is that the only difference? Serena, no. Actually, acquired magic has the benefit of almost no restriction on what one can attain. Still, magic is magic and it's rather rare. Most people are lucky to get one spell, much less fill all 3 spell slots. Belle, I think I remember hearing adventurers only get up to 3 spells. Serena, correct. Another thing I should mention is mind down. Magic is powered by mind, and overtaxing your capacity results in you losing consciousness at the very least. You don't need to worry much about it now, but for when you can cast magic, be aware going beyond what you're capable of is very dangerous. Belle, I see. As they talked, the initial awkwardness the boy felt faded away and their little study session continued. AIS simply sat back on the wall and only part of her wished she could join in. She felt her sister deserved a turn since she had taken up a lot teaching the boy how to fight. After several hours and the morning sun was well above their heads, they decided to call it a day there. Belle, thank you again. Both of you were a big help and I can't express how grateful I am. Serena, smiling we did this because we wanted to. Now that this is all set, I'll expect you around the same time tomorrow. Belle, tomorrow? Serena, yeah. It wouldn't do to just leave you high and dry. Unless you're busy. Belle, and no. I'd love to do this again. Thank you. AIS, see you tomorrow. Belle, and you can keep the extra swords. Belle, MHM. Thank you. They went their separate ways and Belle returned home with his new bounty. Hestia was getting ready for work when she saw Belle looking just a bit dirty. Hestia, Belle, you're back? Belle, Hestia, what's with the swords? Belle, they were extra and they said I could keep them. Now I can start using better weapons in the dungeon. Hestia, you're going down to the dungeon? Belle, yeah, just after I drop these extra here. Hestia, be safe. I gotta get to work. Belle, later, goddess. He left to test out his new skills in the dungeon. Once there, he tried them out on some goblins and kobolds and was surprised by the difference now that he had more reach. Belle, wow, this really is a huge difference. Maybe I should save up for a better sword. He put that thought to the side as he went about his day. Meanwhile at Twilight Manor, AIS and Serena returned after their appointment with Belle and the others were curious. They lounged about with the others in Reveria's office and the questions started rolling in. Tiona, so, how was it? AIS, it was fun. She had a small smile that the others ate up in their enjoyment. Reveria, is that so? Serena, yes. Reveria, and how did the boy grasp your lessons? Serena, really well. I'm quite surprised by how much he improved. Tyon, was it really that much? I thought you said he was supposed to be a newbie. Serena, he was. In every respect he was a fresh rookie. Esmeralda, yet he made a big impression on you. Serena, pardon? Esmeralda, I mean, you looked like you enjoyed yourself there. Serena, well, I can't really deny that. He's an interesting one to put it mildly. Esmeralda, oh. Serena, he takes everything very seriously. He's a fast learner and a hard worker. He took my lessons with no complaints and absorbed all the information like a sponge. Same with AIS. Also, he's very nice and humble for an adventurer. Tiona, hee. If AIS wasn't there it could have been a date. Tyon, smirking it sounded like you enjoyed your alone time too. Serena, what hey? AIS, that is kind of what it looked like. I saw you smiling plenty of times when you were teaching him about magic. Reveria, you taught him about magic. Serena, I just gave him a few pointers in case he ever got a spell of his own. Fighting is more of Ari's thing and I wanted to give him something too. The high elf was quite happy about the timing of all this. Having Alicia and Lefia fill in for her class was a smart play with how this was going. AIS, I'll give him more training tomorrow. Tiona, careful Serena, AIS might take your boyfriend from you. Serena, will you give it a rest? Belle is just an acquaintance. Esmeralda, you expect us to believe that when you're on a first-name basis. Serena, be quiet. You'll only rile her up more. Tiona, relax, I'm just teasing. Besides, the best time for a date with him would be in a few days when Monsterfilia is here. Esmeralda, oh yeah, that's here again. Reveria, it's still a bit a ways away but I won't say no if you wish to take him with you. Serena, blushing Reveria. Reveria, ha. Tiona, what the? Tyon, she really laughed. Reveria, come girls, I'm not some ancient relic. I can have moments like this too. Besides, it's only if you're going to humor it, Serena. For now, I can only tell the boy is genuine because I trust your judgment. If you wish to keep training with him, I won't interfere. Though, Loki might have some complications. Serena, oh, right. I'll find some way to tell her. Esmeralda, it should be fine since she likes AIS the best. AIS, begging please, switch places with me. Serena, haha. Good point. As they talked more about that, the hours went by and Bel finally returned back home. His new sword still felt a bit weird, but he knew he'd get more used to it with time. Bel, goddess, are you home? Hestia, yup. Welcome home. Bel, how was the dungeon? Bel, it was something else. I had no idea how different a sword would make the experience. I only wish I could afford a good one, but these should be fine until I make more money. Hestia, if you say so. Well, now that you're here, I should tell you I'm leaving tomorrow for the next few days. There's going to be a party at Ganesh's, so I'll be there. Bel, okay then. The next morning, Hestia left and said goodbye as Bel went back to the wall for training. It was going to be an interesting time for him going forward. Once more on the walls, Bel was hard at work with Ais and Serena. The former helped him work on his sword training and the latter helped him get the basic fundamentals of magic theory. A few hours later, the morning went by and they took a break once more. Ais was surprised once more by the boy's improvement. In the short time they've spent together, his learned basics such as countering in the small openings she left for him to exploit when he showed little talent when they first started. He's come a long way in such a short time. Ais, spending more time with a sword has done a lot of good for you, Bel. I can't think of anyone who's improved as quickly as you. The boy blushed as he leaned back on the wall and looked downward to his boots. Bel, blushing I am not that great. You were a good teacher, that's all. The blonde giggled with a smile as she laid back against the wall as well while the albino turned to the half-elf. Bel, I should thank you too, Serena. It's nice of you to try and teach me about magic, but I'm not so sure about the point since I don't have any. Isn't magic supposed to be rare? Serena, it is. A person can only ever get 3 spells, but you may as well have the knowledge if you ever reach that point. You never know how your fauna will change with each update, especially after doing something grand. Ais, she's right. You could get lucky after a level up. Bel, I hope so, but I'm not anywhere near level 2 anyway. I'm still not clear past floor 5 in the dungeon. Serena, there's no rush. Let's take it one step at a time. Bel, nods right. Ais, standing up that's enough rest. Ready, Bel. He got up off the ground and got into a stance with his sword once more. Bel, whenever you are. They did what other spars they could fit into the last few hours before they parted ways once more. After that, Bel went to the dungeon as Hestia was still out, so getting some funds would be on him. Bel, I wonder how floor 4 would work. He had been roaming around the first 3 floors and finding little challenge. He had many scraps with the monsters there, but his drills with Ais had sharpened his skills enough that he could manage on those floors even if he was alone. On the 4th floor, it was nearly the same, though the volume of monsters made things more difficult. The rabbit dodged the attempts to slash him, and he responded with swift attacks that slew the monsters instantly. He only ran into a few other adventurers there, so he would make that floor his limit until Hestia returned and could update his status. Crack asterisk. The walls near him began crumbling as they revealed more monsters being birthed out to attack him. He turned to the noise and saw more monsters spawning in the room he was in. Bel, gripping his sword looks like there's more of them. Well, better get to it. He readied his blade and ran to engage the horde in combat. That evening, while Bel was busy in the dungeon, the gods themselves were busy keeping themselves entertained. The main method being attending Ganesh's party. His familiar was hosting at their home. Ganesha himself was in the middle welcoming everyone who was just arriving. As for Hestia herself, she was already there both eating and taking some with her for her and Bel to eat later. She had somehow gotten a neater suit of clothes to wear. It was a simple white dress and she used a blue upper piece to cover everything else. Hestia felt it better to keep a low profile, so she literally stayed low while eating. However, some would interfere with that plan. Mainly, a beloved goddess of beauty who had just arrived to the party. Freya, Hestia, good evening. The sudden greeting behind her startled Hestia as her pigtails jumped up with the rest of her body. Hestia, mouthful MMPH. Freya, sorry, were you in the middle of something? The tiny goddess gulped down her food while her face showed mild annoyance. Now that several eye were on them, the silver-haired goddess tended to have that effect on people, especially the men. Hestia, I'm always too busy to deal with you. Freya, asterisk giggles asterisk, I do so adore that about you. Hestia, well, you could be worse. She grimaced and leaned to the side where she saw another figure dash to them. This was Loki in a fancy black dress. She had also come to attend. Loki, hey, Freya. Freya, hello, Loki. Hestia, just great. Why are you here, Loki? The redhead lifted her face to show dominance over Hestia as she smirked. Loki, asterisk smirking asterisk, come on, you know me. Loki does whatever she wants. Hestia growled under her breath before she remembered something she wanted to do. Hestia, actually, I just remembered something. Loki, I've got a question for you. Loki, oh yeah. What's up, Shrimpy? The little goddess used all her willpower to not punch the washing board in the face right there. She gritted her teeth in self-restraint. Hestia, him. Well, it's about your child, Wallenstein. I was just wondering if they have some kind of romantic partner. Loki, asterisk menacing asterisk HAH? Absolutely none of them do. No one is getting there. Grubby mitts on my girls, especially my AIS. Anyone who tries is getting torn to shreds. Hestia grunted at that, as this was not the news Belle needed to hear when she returned. Freya stood to the side and smiled while the two rivals butted heads. Freya, you two are such good friends. Hestia and Loki, no, we aren't. Freya, by the way, Loki, I love the dress. I don't get to see this side of you very often. Straightening up to answer her caused Hestia to face plant to the ground, but that wasn't a big deal to Loki. Loki, right? I heard a little pipsqueak was coming to the party, so I wanted to look good to mock her for being poor. As she picked herself up, Hestia returned Loki's taunt with a smirk of her own. Hestia, that's rich because I've got a funny joke of my own to laugh about. Loki, hey. The redhead started getting nervous, knowing where this was going, but her fears would be realized when Hestia returned fire. Hestia, asterisk smirking asterisk, you had the bright idea of showing up with a chest as flat as yours. Loki felt an arrow strike her at the word flat, and Hestia's mocking laughter only further resolved her to break into tears before the rage took over and she snarled in anger. With Belle. One loud lecture from Aina about staying so long on the floor he was on later, he had cashed in his stones and made his way home. The coins rattled in his wallet of a pouch, but what he felt was a good haul was hardly worth much once he took a look at the prices at a weapon shop on his way home. There were still some people passing by on the streets, but Belle had little interest in the few stares he received as he lay his head on the glass separating him from quality weapons. Belle, asterisk sigh asterisk. As he despaired over his lack of personal funds, he felt a hand on his shoulder and turned to see a friend. The blue-haired god, Mayak, who carried a bag of products about to be made into potions for his familiar to sell. Mayak, hello, Belle. Looking to do some shopping. Belle, oh, hello. I wish, but I don't have that kind of money. It's surprising to see you here. Why aren't you at the party with the other gods? Mayak, asterisk smiling asterisk, I was invited and planned to attend, but I'm far too busy. I do have to help provide for my familiar. By the way, here. He handed the boy some blue potion vials. Belle, how is giving me free potions helping your familiar? Mayak, don't say it like that, Belle. Friends should always have each other's backs. Anyway, you take care now. Belle, oh okay. He bowed and took the vials before Mayak left. Now on his way home once more. The boy couldn't help but wonder what his goddess was up to right now. With Hestia. Hephaestus, are you going to do that all day? She asked this in an annoyed tone to Hestia, who was performing a dejezer in front of her office desk. This all started back at the party when Hestia asked Hephaestus to make Belle a weapon back at the party. Flashback. Hestia and Loki resumed they fight, though it was mostly one-sided as Loki had Hestia in the air by her cheeks and the tiny goddess flailed around. The other gods simply watched them fight, and the two repeatedly threw insult after insult at each other before Hestia threw more jabs at Loki's chest, figuratively and literally, causing Loki to stomp off in tears. Right after Loki left, like a lil bitch, the smithing goddess came wearing a dress of her own and with a glass holding her drink. Hephaestus, still at it, hey? Hestia immediately recognized the voice and happily jumped to her feet to greet. Hestia, Hephaestus. I missed you. I'm so glad you're here. Hephaestus, really? Hestia, of course. The newly arrived redhead sighed before shaking her head lightly. Hephaestus, Let's skip the pleasantries then. What do you want? Hestia, eh? Hephaestus, I wasn't born yesterday, Hestia. I know you get like this when you want to ask for something. If it's money, you're not getting any. Hestia, asterisk slightly offended asterisk what? Who do you think I am? I wouldn't ask my best friend for something like that. Hephaestus, you've got a lot of nerve saying that after freeloading off my familiar. Hestia, irk. Hephaestus, then, you come back in tears about how you were broke after I kicked you out. Hestia, Hephaestus, do you really wonder why I assume you want something? The tiny goddess groaned on the ground from her friend's ruthless assault while Freya watched the two with amusement. Hestia, HMPH. All right, so maybe I was like that Hephaestus, asterisk drinking asterisk, so now you admit it. Hestia, but things have changed. I have my own familiar. Hephaestus, oh yeah. That Bell person. The boy with white hair and red eyes. While she remembered her friend's first child, Freya had something whispered into her ear by someone else before informing the other two about her leaving. After recovering from the awkward atmosphere of Freya leaving and the men becoming disinterested, Hestia resumed her conversation with Hephaestus. Hephaestus, so, what were you gonna ask me? Hestia, hey? Hephaestus, fair warning because depending on what you say I might not speak to you again. Hestia, all right then. The tiny goddess steeled herself being jumping down into a Degeza. Hestia, asterisk pleading asterisk, I want you to make a weapon for Bell. Please. End of flashback. Hephaestus, what are you even doing? Hestia, it's something I read from Takemikazuchi's books. It said this was the best way to ask for a favor. Hephaestus, asterisk I asterisk, he's always meddling where he shouldn't be. Look, you know, I don't come cheap, so why are you bothering to ask? Hestia, it's because of Bell. He's growing and I'm scared it won't be very long before his current gear won't be able to keep up with him. He's dashing head first towards his dream, and I want him to be prepared for anything he could run into. I'm his goddess, but I haven't been able to prove that in supporting him. If I could at least provide him with a weapon he could rely on, I can rest easier. He has a partner who'll always be by his side no matter what. The smithing goddess widened her eyes. She was surprised by the reasoning and resolve her friend put forth. Having a familiar of her own helped change her friend for the better. Smiling, she prepared to accept her friend's plea, feeling proud of how she's grown as a person. Hephaestus, all right. I'll help you, Hestia, asterisk panicking asterisk ah. I knew this wouldn't be enough for you. She jumped up to her feet in a panic, fearing that wouldn't be enough to persuade her friend. In a last-ditch effort, she grabbed a large platform of wood that was made in a way that the part one stood on was hovering over the floor like a bed frame. Hephaestus saw all this happen with shock and confusion before Hestia lit a torch in the room. Hestia, I have no choice but to use the burning-style Degeza I also read from Takemikazuchi's books. With paranoid eyes, she was moments away from lighting the wood and the carpet under it on fire before Hephaestus put her into a full Nelson to stop Hestia from burning her office. Hephaestus, asterisk startled asterisk okay. Okay, I'll make him the weapon. Just put the fire out. After they calmed down, Hephaestus told her friend they both would be busy for the next day or two in the forging process. Hephaestus, you're going to help in this process, Hestia. I hope you're prepared. Hestia, asterisk determined asterisk yes. Whatever you need. With a smirk, she led her to her personal forge. Inside, Hestia saw how around a third of the room was taken up by instruments used for forging, with the middle already split in half by them. Holding her hammer, the two immediately got to work. Several days later, in Twilight Manor, everyone was in high spirits for the festival today because today was Monsterphilia. Esmeralda, it's finally here. Monsterphilia is back. Reveria, you don't have to shout this early in the morning. The mess hall had the tables and seat lined up for everyone to eat, and dozens were already there eating their breakfast. Esmeralda, sorry, I'm just excited to see the show in the arena. Tiona, totally. We gotta hurry up and get to the arena while the seats are good. Lefia, where are Miss Serena and Miss Ais? As she asked, they arrived with both yawning just a little bit from how early it was. Esmeralda, you two sleep okay? Serena, we're fine. Ais, I got a little held up last night from thinking of lessons for Belle. I forgot we agreed to take today off for the festival, so I was worried over nothing. The blonde was embarrassed enough to blush only slightly before getting some Food for herself. After several minutes, they all cleaned up and gathered by the exit. Before Loki came. Loki, hey, AIS. I need to borrow you for a little bit. AIS, what for? Loki, I need an escort for a little meeting I got today. Can you help me out? The blonde looked back worriedly before giving into Loki's pleading face. Huh. Friends were disappointed, but AIS made a point to return with them for the show. Later, as well as threatening Loki to keep her hands to herself. As it turned out, said meeting was with Freya, who was in disguise as to not draw attention to herself. With her natural beauty. The three were in a separate little table on the second floor of a shop that served them drinks as they talked. Loki, what? You got your eyes on another child. You never change, Freya. The silver-haired goddess chuckled to herself as she described her new desire. 1. About a child whose soul possessed a color she'd never seen before and had become enamored with. AIS simply looked out to the busy crowd on the street beneath her, before spotting a familiar sight of Belle running through it. Right after she did so, Freya spoke up and got her attention. Freya, sorry, Loki, but I'm afraid I have to depart. Loki, why? What's up? Freya, there's been a little emergency, so I'll be off. As she left, Loki realized she was stuck with the bill while AIS wondered why. Freya left so suddenly. AIS, was it because of, no, that can't be right. She brushed the thought aside before the two left to enjoy the festivities. With Belle. In the last several days, Belle went through what he felt was a living hell. Now that his swordsmanship had improved greatly, AIS took it upon herself and increased their sparring intensity several-fold, with Belle having been knocked out several times. The first time was after AIS landed a spinning back kick to his face and sent him flying backwards. In that situation, Serena did what Reveria had told her about in the past and brought Belle onto her lap to rest. The half-elf giggled to herself as she lightly brushed his hair, feeling how soft it was. AIS commenting on how it was like petting a bunny made the girl laugh loudly and woke the boy up. Once he regained his bearings and realized where he was, he immediately shot up and away, before apologizing for passing out. Belle, blushing I'm sorry. I guess I passed out. Serena brushed it off as nothing major before he resumed his training with AIS. By this point, the blonde made an effort to stay a level apart from him in strength, and that meant he would be knocked out several times, with each time resulting in him waking up on Serena's lap. After several recuperations, AIS asked about what her sister was doing, and Serena offered to let the blonde try. Needless to say, Belle blushed even more when the other Wallenstein sibling gave him a turn on her lap. AIS would quickly get addicted to this feeling of a rabbit on her lap, forcing Serena to make sure AIS stopped knocking him out on purpose to give him a lap pillow. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to train properly. After all, he couldn't work if he was out cold. Little did Belle know, but this would push him past his limits and to a new world of power. In the present, however, he had another quest. That would be to hand a purse to SYR, who her co-workers at the hostess asked him to deliver it to. Since he wanted to meet Hestia at the festival, he happily accepted their request before heading out. Speaking of Hestia, the short goddess removed the white glove off her right have and brought her index finger towards the blunt edge of a black blade. She dragged it along the blade, which was quite long, all the way down to the handle, which was also black with a dark blue guard separating it from the blade. The blade itself had engravings which glowed a bright blue from her touch all the way to the tip of the blade, which was curved on one side like a knife's blade. Off to the side, Hephaestus sat and smiled, knowing their job was done. Hephaestus, and that should do it. Hestia, all right. When can I give it to Belle? Hephaestus, whenever you want. Hestia ran to her friend and pulled her into a hug. Hestia, thank you so much, Hephaestus. Hephaestus, you're welcome. Now, don't go forgetting our deal. You will pay me back for this. Hestia, beaming yeah, of course I will. Seeing how happy her friend was, the redhead decided not to press on and ruin her bright mood. Instead, she had her wash up and leave to find her child so she could give her the present, which they had wrapped nicely in a box. Hestia now carried on her back. In the present, Hestia happily wandered the streets looking for Belle before she eventually found him checking around several food stalls. Hestia, Belle. Belle, what goddess? Hestia, hey. Giggle been a while. Belle, yeah, it's great to see you. Where have you been? I thought the party would End a few days ago. Hestia, oh, I had a little business to take care of. What are you doing? Belle, oh, I'm looking for a friend who forgot their wallet. Hestia grabbed onto his arm, causing him to blush. She giggled happily before, pulling him along with her. Hestia, I got it. Well, we can always look for her while we go on with our date. Belle, what wait? Don't pull me so hard. And so, they went along together and Belle did his best to try and spot Syr anywhere in the crowd. However, he wouldn't be that lucky. At the same time, Serena and the others were finally at the entrance to the arena. With Esmeralda being an excited child with Tiona about the show, they walked past all the other vendors along the path to the arena and were standing in front of the large hallway leading inside. Tiona, we're here. Lefia, let's get to our seats. Esmeralda, yeah. All the way in the back, Serena had a slightly conflicted face. Part of her hoped to run into Belle and watch together with everyone, but it looked like it wasn't meant to be, so she caught up with the others. Although, she did wonder what was holding up Ais and Loki. In another reality, smaller, childlike versions of Serena and Esmeralda were currently talking with each other. The others were unaware the two even existed since they were mere mental hallucinations formed from past traumas. Mini Serena, looking around frantically, where is he? Mini Esmeralda, who? Mini Serena, the nice rabbit boy. He should be here so we can talk about things other than fighting and magic. Mini Esmeralda, forget that. I want to see the monsters get whipped. Mini Serena, hey, wait for me. And they ran and followed their real doppelgangers into the arena. Meanwhile, over the next hour, the show was moving along as scheduled. The tamers all got their chances to show off their skills and the crowd was loving it like always. However, there would be some complications when the next show was a few minutes behind schedule. This forced a member of the Ganesha familia to head under the arena where the monsters were held and find out what was going on. Ganesha member A, what's the hold up? The next monster should have been up already. The woman arrived down and was met with the sight of all the guards down there, slumped onto the ground. Just past them were the cages holding the monsters in place, which were thankfully still secured. She went to see what happened and all were in a strange state of bliss that kept them from acting like normal. When she stood back up to think about the cause, she felt her sight stolen from her and a massive wave of pleasure wash all over her body. Behind her was a cloaked Freya, who used her hands to cover the woman's eyes while lightly flooding her with charm. The pleasure overwhelmed the woman as her legs wobbled and she moaned lightly. Freya, tell me, how many monsters are currently in here? What kind do you have? The woman immediately told the goddess what she wanted to know before Freya let her fall to the ground, feeling very pleasured. She walked down the hall and looked through all the monsters currently housed by Ganesha. She had her charm to protect her, so Freya wasn't feeling worried. Rather, she was looking for a worthy opponent for the one on her mind. Luckily for Freya, her desired challenger came in the form of a silverback monster she found bound up with chains and caged. She deemed it worthy and quickly put it under her spell. Walking up to it, she caressed its face before giving it orders to attack so she could watch and enjoy the show that was about to start. With Belle, the albino was quickly losing hope he'd ever run into Syr and give her wallet back to her. Speaking of, his own was drying out due to all the food stalls he and Hestia visited. Eventually, they arrived at their last one, which was just a few steps away from the entrance to the arena where the show was happening. Belle stood to the side and sighed while Hestia finished the snack she bought. Belle, where could she be? Hestia, hey, she could be in the arena. We could take a look inside before circling back. Belle, I guess it's worth a look. Not 2 steps forward, the ground beneath them rumbled and everyone was on alert at the sudden event. Rumble asterisk. Belle, here? The rabbit looked around and soon, a silverback jumped out from the entrance to the basement of the arena. The civilians saw this and ran away in fear while Belle instinctively got in front of Hestia. As the monster jumped up and hung over them on the arena wall with its arm, Hestia couldn't help but notice their gazes meeting. Hestia, nervous why is that thing looking at me? In the creature's mind, Freya's voice echoed loud and clear. She wanted it to go after Hestia, and with its system full of divine charm, that was precisely what it would do. The loud roar was more than enough for Belle to react and grab Hestia for a hasty retreat. They quickly rushed to the tight area where they lived and hoped the lack of room would be enough to lose it. Belle, why is that thing after you? Do you recognize it? Hestia, no. I've never seen that thing ever. Seeing it was right behind them, he took a sharp turn through a narrow alley, forcing the monster to the rooftops. The civilians nearby shut themselves tightly in their homes and waited for this storm to pass. While Belle had this dilemma, a certain other group was wondering what was taking so long in the arena. Serena, here. Are they supposed to be taking this long? She had a curious expression while Esmeralda had finished her fourth tub of popcorn. Esmeralda, come on. What's the hold-up? Lefia, are they taking a break? The seats they got happened to be within earshot of Ganesha himself. So when members of his familia informed him of monsters breaking out, they knew why. The show was being delayed. Esmeralda, looks like they could use a hand. Tiona, oh yeah. Time for us to join in the festival. She threw her fist into her other hand as they all rushed out of the arena to help quell the chaos that was several other monsters rushing out of the containment area. Serena, looks like we're gonna have to split up to cover all this ground. Lefia, let's stay here and help the Ganesha familia. Lefia, right. Esmeralda, we'll have a look around for any stragglers. Tiona and Tyon rushed off, and she was about to join them if Serena hadn't stopped. Huh. Serena, hold on. Esmeralda, HM? Serena, you three be safe. Esmeralda, smirking you too. The red-haired Amazon leaped away as well, and they all busied themselves with hunting down the runaway monsters. Thankfully, some guild employees were in the area and they helped guide all able adventurers in the area, so the cleanup was relatively smooth. Though, some would disagree with that. With Belle, after taking several winding turns, Belle managed to lose the silverback for a brief period. The creature crouched on a rooftop and tried to sniff them out. As they caught their breaths, Belle gave Hestia instructions on what to do as he pulled out his daggers. Belle, goddess, I'll buy you some time to get out of here. You go and find other adventurers to help. The tiny goddess eyes widened from hearing such a ridiculous plan. Hestia, are you out of your mind? There's no way you can fight that thing on your own. Belle, I have to try. I won't let anyone else important die on me. Not to mention, the more time we spend running, the more that thing is going to destroy the neighborhood. I'm an adventurer too, so I should at least keep it in one place before some stronger ones arrive. Hestia, absolutely not. You can't third asterisk. She shook her head and backed away. When she did, the loud sound of the box on her back hitting the wall was heard by them, and Hestia remembered another thing she had to do. She helped get Belle a new weapon, but also, it had been several days since she last updated his status. Her eyes widened as she quickly brought the box down for Belle to see. Belle, curious goddess? Now that they had a quiet moment, he wondered what was inside the box until she opened it and revealed a fine, black sword for him to see. Belle marveled at how beautiful it looked. Belle, whoa, where'd you get that? Hestia, sorry, I'll tell you later. Just show me your back. Belle, what? A status update now. Why? While he fired question after question, the monster quickly followed its targets, sent and narrowed down their little hiding place in a small fountain square. Meanwhile, Hestia was quickly updating the boy's status, and she was shocked to see what he was doing. Hestia, Belle, you could have told me your friend was a girl. Both of them, actually. What the hell were you doing while I was gone? Belle, sorry. She grumbled jealously as she saw how Belle spent every morning with the same two girls that she also asked Loki about back during Ganesha's party. Although, all her jealousy was overshadowed by the sheer amount of growth the boy went through with all their help. Hestia, his average is around B for all his basic abilities except magic. That skill is crazy. Wait, with a jump like this, he could take out that giant monkey, no problem. Smiling widely, she finalized his update while Belle asked about the sword. Belle, goddess, you still haven't answered me about the sword. Hestia, it's a gift for you. A special, living sword. Now, you have a weapon that'll get stronger right beside you. The albino gripped the handle and the engravings glowed a bright light before fading away. The light show on Belle's back during the update also alerted the silverback to their location. Hestia pulled his shirt down and confidently pushed him forward. Hestia, you got this, Belle. Belle, here? I'm just going to buy time for CRSH asterisk. The monster jumped to the ground in front of the place they hid and the boy ran out to face it. Belle, go find help, goddess. Hestia, I don't have to. The albino turned back in confusion, only to find the monster was about to smack him away with its arm when he turned back. Belle was ready to brace for impact, when he was inevitably sent flying. However, when he blocked with his sword, he was surprised to find he only slid back a small amount and the force wasn't as strong as he thought it would be. Belle, what gh? Roaring loudly, the silverback was going to squash him with its free left fist. Belle tried to dodge out of the way, but found that when he did, his body moved faster than he was used to. Seeing the attack coming, he moved out of the way before it had even gotten that close to him. The monster still had some dangling chains on its arms, so when it tried to use the to attack Belle, the albino easily cut through them and the makeshift armor it was wearing. Belle, this is my new status? I feel so much stronger and faster. He jumped above two separate attempts to grab him and rushed along its arm towards its head, landing a clean strike that broke the headpiece it was wearing. When Belle landed, he kept his sword gripped tight in both hands while getting into a stance he felt comfortable with after all the training he did with AIS. He stared down at the monster before making his move. Meanwhile, the sound of a monster screeching in pain before exploding to ash was heard in another commercial area. Esmeralda wiped her blood from her hands and scanned to see if anyone was hurt. Esmeralda, is everyone okay? Aina and Misha followed and helped guide her along. They caught up and gave her the update on the situation. Aina, thanks to you, the damage was kept to a minimum and no one was badly injured. Esmeralda, phew, that's a relief. Misha, we appreciate your help, Crimson Queen. Esmeralda, happy to help. She smiled and looked to see how she could help before a loud roar echoed throughout the area. Aina, there's still one more. Esmeralda, I'll get it. And she jumped to the roof of a building towards where the roar came from. When she arrived, she would only be able to witness the final act of a great play. With Belle. Belle, hurrah! He gave a loud battle cry and the monster roared back at him. It raised both its arms, aiming to bring them down and turn the rabbit into pulp. Belle, however, would be too fast for it. He slipped through its arms and head and was now right above it as it slammed the ground where Belle used to be. When it turned around, it only saw the brief image of Belle before the albino had his sword at his side and twisted his body as he swung sideways. He made a clean cut along its neck, spurting blood everywhere before he landed on his feet and the monster exploded to dust. Having played game versions of these scenarios as a child, he swung his sword to the ground with muscle memory to clean off the blood only to snap back to reality and realize what just happened. He turned back to where the silverback used to be and saw only a single magic stone before turning to Hestia, who had a look of glee on her face. Belle, asterisk in disbelief asterisk, did I do that? Hestia, Belle, you did it. All at once, the residents in the area came out of hiding and cheered for the boy who slew the monster in their area. Hestia herself rushed to her child and threw him into a hug while the boy processed everything that happened. Hestia, you were amazing. I knew you could do it. Belle, I'm still shocked that was all me. Not only that, but this sword was great too. He stared at the blade in his hand and mentally thanked it for its help. As he smiled awkwardly at the crowd throwing praise and thanks, his was a rapid set of footsteps approached him. When he turned to the source of the noise, he found himself staring at the wide eyes of Esmeralda, who had seen the tail end of the fight. Esmeralda, asterisk shocked asterisk holy crap. That was the coolest thing I've seen all day. Belle, thanks. Esmeralda, the way you finished off that silverback was totally like the end of an epic battle. Wait. She examined the boy and remembered the description the others gave of him. Esmeralda, say, you wouldn't happen to be Belle Cranel, would you? Belle, asterisk blushing asterisk why yes? Thankfully he had only just finished a heated battle. Had he not, his thundering heart would be because of the other stunning beauty of the Wallenstein sisters. The red-haired beauty he'd only seen once over a week ago. Esmeralda, asterisk smiling asterisk sweet. Nice to finally meet you properly. I'm Esmeralda. And I see the stories my sisters told me weren't tall tales. Belle, they talked about me? Esmeralda, asterisk smiling asterisk yep. They talked about this quick learner that surprised them every day. I'm so glad I can finally meet you face to face. She walked to him happily and threw her arm around his neck, making him blush. More. Esmeralda, we should go for a little bite to eat later. I want to hear all the details. From you. Belle, steaming Hestia. Hold it. She got up and between them, shocking the two at the interruption. Hestia, now listen here. You can just go around and take my Belle wherever you please. My familiar. Thud asterisk. As she scolded the Amazon, Hestia suddenly grew drowsy and passed out onto the ground. Belle, goddess. Goddess. He shook the body of the unconscious Hestia as tears began to leak from his eyes. He feared the worst when she showed no signs of waking up. Belle, goddess Hestia. In the next several minutes after his encounter with the silverback, Belle worriedly brought Hestia into his arms after she fell unconscious. Desperate for help, he looked around for anyone who would be able to assist. Fortunately, he ran into Syr, and she led him into the hostess to allow Hestia to rest. For a well-established business like theirs, it was an honor to assist a goddess in need, even more so for a valued customer such as Belle. And so, the hours of the day passed and Belle stayed by Hestia's side in case she woke up. While that happened, things were lively in the Loki familiar home. Well, this was true for much of Daedalus Street for those who saw what happened, but that news quickly spread amongst the adventurers within Twilight Manor. That being Belle's spectacular feat against a silverback. Loki member A, do you really believe that happened? He asked his friend with a questioning look. A rookie wouldn't be able to handle a monster from that deep in the dungeon, much less beat one. His friend, however, had differing opinions. Loki member B, I don't know. There were plenty of witnesses who saw the fight, even from our own familiar. Loki member A, but it doesn't make sense. He racked his brain trying to process how such a thing was possible. Several other conversations went about the same way. Those who were nearby trusted it while those who weren't highly doubted such a thing happened. One couldn't blame them, as it defied most logic. Of course, one was very adamant about its truth. Esmeralda, what do you mean? Of course it's true. I saw it with my own eyes. She puffed her chest out and smirked confidently while telling her story. In the room, Tiona and Tyon leaned forward from the couch they were sitting on while Ais and Serena kept close to their sister. The twins were very shocked to say the least. Tiona, no way. We really missed something that cool. Tyon, damn. If those plant things didn't sprout out of the ground, we could have seen it too. Esmeralda, curious what now? That's where Ais and Serena came in to fill their sister in on what she missed. Their group had run into strange plant-like creatures while rescuing civilians. They were far more powerful than they expected, so Ais and the twins ended up having to distract the plants while Lefia and Serena prepared their spells. Tiona and Lefia almost got tagged by one of their vines. Esmeralda, rushing to Lefia, are you okay? Did they hurt you? She slammed her hands onto the elf's shoulders and looked at her with wide, worried eyes. Lefia, startled, I am fine. Miss Serena helped me and we were able to take out all of them. The redhead Amazon sighed in relief that all went well. Meanwhile, with Lefia, lesbian x3 Otilda Shishi touched me with her powerful hands. I can never wash this dress again after today. She caressed the spot Esmeralda touched with a dreamy smile while the others help catch the Amazon up with what happened on their end. Serena, and that's about it. Now, can you tell us more about the rookie who beat the silverback? Esmeralda, oh yeah. It was that Belle guy you two talk about. Serena, spit take Belle. AIS, worried is he okay? Esmeralda, smirking yep. He was in pretty good shape after he won. I gotta say, I haven't seen a fight that exciting in a while. AIS smiled after hearing he was alright and Serena let out a sigh of relief while holding her chest. Esmeralda, although his goddess did pass out after everything settled down. The poor thing was probably exhausted after everything that happened. AIS, I couldn't blame her. This year's event was weird with all the monsters that got loose. Serena, yeah. Esmeralda, well, all's well that ends well. Hopefully she gets better soon. I'd like to get my turn with him too. Serena's face flushed from that. Serena, blushing would you watch your wording? Esmeralda, snort nah, I'm good. Anyway, I gotta blow off some of this steam. Tiona. Tyon. You up for a few rounds? Tiona. Count me in. Tyon. Asterisk smiling asterisk all right. As the three left, only AIS and Serena, Lefia if you count her while she's stuck in her daydream, were in the room. Serena. I'm still curious about how he was able to do that. Maybe I'll go visit him and ask once his goddess recovers. The half-elf decided to go with that plan while AIS wondered what she was thinking. Later that night, Belle sat along the stairs to let Hestia rest. After several hours, she was still fast asleep. This had him very worried. That's when Syr passed by to see how he was doing. Syr, Belle, is she awake? Belle, no, still out cold. Today really took a toll on her. The girl looked down in guilt when he said that. Syr, it's my fault. If I hadn't forgotten my wallet, you two wouldn't have gotten into this mess. I'm sorry. Belle, damn right, dumb bitch. Take two. Belle, no. Please don't think it's your fault. This was all just a big accident. If anything, I should thank you and Mama MIA for helping us. Syr, asterisk smiling asterisk well, I guess you're right. At least this way I can pay you back. Your goddess is free to take all the time she needs. Belle, asterisk bowing asterisk thank you. Syr, oh, I better get back to work. I hope she gets better soon. She ran off and Belle decided to go in and check one more time. When he opened the door and peered into the candlelit room, he saw Hestia sitting upright in her bed. His eyes widened and he rushed over to her. Belle, goddess. Hestia, Belle. He hugged her tightly, which she gladly returned. Belle, thank the gods. I was so worried you wouldn't wake up. Hestia, ahihi. Sorry about that. After calming him down, Belle decided to ask her about the sword that had yet to leave his hands all day. Belle, goddess, can I ask you about this sword? Hestia, sure. What about it? Belle, where'd you get it? Also, is that signature really who I think it is? He glanced to the part of the blade when a name was inscribed, Hephaestus. Hestia nodded to confirm his suspicions. Hestia, yup, the one and only. Belle, asterisk shocked asterisk HUH. But aren't her works like super expensive? How did you even get this? Hestia, asterisk smiling asterisk well, you wanted to get stronger and I wanted to help you. You're always risking your life by going to the dungeon, so let me do this much. For you, okay. Belle was already brought to tears at her kindness. Hestia, remember, I'll always be your goddess, all right? Belle, asterisk hick asterisk right. They stayed there until the next morning. Once that arrived, they thanked everyone there for their hospitality before returning home. Now that they were all settled down, Belle decided to inspect his sword more. Belle, I guess I don't need those other ones for the dungeon anymore. This thing cut through that monster like butter. Hestia, asterisk giggle asterisk that's a work from Hephaestus for YA. She delivers on whatever you ask of her. Belle, asterisk admiring the sword asterisk so, what exactly did you have to give for this? Hestia, asterisk sweating asterisk th that's not important. Shouldn't you be breaking it in properly in the dungeon? Belle, you're right. I better go. He went to gear himself up before leaving for the dungeon. After a quick shower, Hestia did the same and headed for work. Meanwhile, with the Loki familiar, AIS had paid a visit to Goibnu once more to see if her sword was ready. It was, and she happily returned the loner back to him in more or less the same condition it was in. The blonde thanked the gods it hadn't broken in the time she had it, and even Goibnu was surprised. Goibnu, your familiar has a knack for breaking things. I'm surprised this came back to me in with the blade still attached to the handle. AIS, millimeter. Thank you again. The god nodded and she was on her way. Returning home, she sat in the dining room to eat breakfast and wait for everyone else. After everyone came down and grabbed food, they discussed their plan for the day. Lefia, what's everyone's plan for today? AIS, I'm going to go down to the dungeon. Lefia, by yourself? AIS, asterisk nods asterisk millimeter. I need to make some money to pay for Lord Goibnu's work on my sword. Tiona, oh, if that's the case, can I tag along? I need some money for my new erga. 2. AIS, sure. Lefia, th then, I'll go as well. Esmeralda, hey, don't leave me out of the fun. Serena, I guess I'll join too. Esmeralda, eh? Why? Serena, asterisk puffing her chest out asterisk as the oldest sister, I need to make sure my younger siblings don't cause any trouble. Tick marks appeared on the heads of AIS and Esmeralda. Esmeralda, asterisk annoyed asterisk you're oldest by 2 seconds. Celdia, asterisk gloating asterisk HMPH. My point still stands. Tiona, arg. Whatever. Tyon, you in. Tyon, I'll be staying here. The captain might need me. Esmeralda, asterisk shrugs asterisk I guess it's just us then. As she said that, Finn and Reveria overheard as they walked in as well. Finn, sounds interesting. What are you all up to? Serena, we were planning on going down to the dungeon. Would you like to join us? Finn, HM. He looked to Reveria, who gave a small smile, and then back to them. Finn, asterisk smiling asterisk why not? I could go for a relaxing stroll. Tyon, what a coincidence. I was thinking the exact same thing Tilda. Tiona sighed before all of them made their way down to the dungeon. Once down, there, they easily tore through all the monsters in the upper and middle floors. Puff asterisk. Tiona, HM. This was supposed to be Urga's first taste of monster blood. These guys are too weak though. Finn, well, it can't be helped. Let's make our way to Rivera. Asterisk holds up a bag full of magic stones asterisk we need these turned in as well. They all agreed and headed for the safety zone on floor 18. Upon arriving, they noticed there was something unsettling about the atmosphere. The streets were unusually empty and quiet. Reveria, something feels off here. Serena, but what? Finn, As the Prum thought to himself, Bors came out of a shop and made contact with the group. Bors, the Loki familiar? Not now. He groaned as they would be another headache for the one-eyed man. Finn, everything okay? Bors. There's been a murder. They all gasped at the horrific news. Bors led them to the inn where the incident took place and they were horrified to see the scene of the crime. On the floor, a man lay in his own pool of blood with a cloth to cover his smashed head. Lefia, asterisk gag asterisk oh gods. Esmeralda, should detect. Take 2. Esmeralda, ouch. Finn, do we have a suspect? Bors, it was a girl. She was with him the night they checked in. They asked the innkeeper if he knew anything, but it was no use. The man was covered completely in armor, so they had no way to identify him. Finn, so we don't even know the victim's identity. Bors, nope. His face got smashed in pretty bad. It's the whole reason I had to go out and get this. From inside his vest, he pulled out a container with a red liquid inside. Serena glanced at it and immediately knew what it was. Serena, status thief? Bors, you know what this is. HMPH, then you know what has to happen. Reveria, you plan to bypass the security of his status. I don't think desecrating a corpse calls for praise. Bors, playing the normal way isn't going to cut it here. He opened the container and dropped a tiny amount onto the back of the corpse. Soon, the person's status appeared for everyone to see. What they saw was an elephant emblem to signify the familiar. Bors, can you read it, elf? Reveria, I can. Asterisk steps closer asterisk his name is Hazhanadolia. His from the Ganesha. Familiar, and a level 4. Bors, asterisk shocked asterisk level 4. It can't be. This looks like he could barely fight back. Innkeeper, wait. The person he was with was a woman and everyone here is basically an upper-class adventurer. Bors, suspicious of you all to arrive at this time. Innkeeper, yeah. One of you could have easily seduced him to make him drop his guard. Bors, so, which one of you was it? They asked around and looked at all of them before stopping at Tiona. Bors, well, maybe not her. Innkeeper, not a chance. Tiona, asterisk emotional damage asterisk where'd you get that idea from? Their last stop was Tyon, which was a mistake. Suspecting her resulting in Tyon. And Esmeralda having to hold her back from smashing their faces in. Finn, yeah, as you see, none of the girls here have that capability. Bors, then the real culprit is still close by. From the looks of the belongings. There's signs of it being investigated, but maybe they didn't find what they were looking for. Finn, in that case, allow us to assist you. We can gather everyone in town and get this ordeal settled. Bors, asterisk nods asterisk millimeter. Let's go. This would be all for this story. Next story coming soon, so please like and subscribe to get informed of videos as soon as it drops.